The Black Parade marches into Minnesota. My Chemical Romance is back, and it's going to be loud, emotional, and absolutely unforgettable at Target Field on August 24th. Tickets go on sale Friday at noon. You get the full details at KFAN.com, keyword calendar.
My boy would sing that song. When I was a young boy. What a great song.
Did you ever take him into the city to see a marching band?
I did.
Oh, that's nice of you.
They're going to clean up your looks. All the line in the books.
When has the Twin Cities ever had a victory parade?
At Minnesota Lynx twice. I've been to both of them.
Haven't they had four?
I think they've won 4.
Yeah.
I've been to 2 of them.
Oh, you've been to 2.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they're about to have 5.
Are they?
I believe they'd
Should
be the
already be
first
5.
ever WNBA team to have 5 championships, I think.
Yeah, they would have to be, right?
I think so. I don't know
I
if
think
they'd
the
have to
Comets
be.
won the first 2 or 3 way back in the day. Did they not? I feel like they won the first
They had to.
handful
Yeah.
back with the Cheryl Swoops era.
Do you guys want the Survivor bits?
Oh, yeah.
Sure, who
yeah,
forgot
yeah,
it
yeah.
this week?
Yeah,
Nobody.
I did not forget.
Nobody.
I got all mine in forever.
So Corey, Hockey, Parrish,
Corey Hockey?
Zacho, and Fargo Flash all picked the Lions, who are playing the Browns and are 9.5-point favorites.
Yeah.
Creasel-
At Detroit. Had to be done.
Picked Buffalo, who is like a 15.5-point favorite. They host the Saints.
Yeah, I already used them. I definitely would have used them, too.
And then Parker picked Buffalo, who is playing, I think, on Monday night. They play...
You just said the Saints.
No, he picked the Broncos.
Okay.
They
That's
play
what
the
I'm saying. Confused
Bengals,
me.
and the Broncos are 7.5-point favorites on Monday night. There are 2 Monday night games this week.
All right. So most of us are on the Lions. There's
Yeah, man.
7 of us
Yeah.
left.
I'm a survivor.
Yep.
That'd be crazy if we all lost, though.
Yeah, then there'd be
Okay.
2 left.
Yeah.
Good. Then you can wrap up in a week or 2
Yeah,
and we can
correct.
do it again.
Start it
Correct.
all over
Yeah.
again. That's right.
All right. Let's do a quick Fan 5, shall we?
Buddy. All right. It'd be cool.
It's time for Fan 5 on the Power Trip, presented by Builders and Remodelers.
Builders, Remodelers, I love you. Thank you. If you do Vikings, let me know because I've got audio I haven't played yet.
Well, let's start with that then.
ahead.
The Vikings are in Dublin Sunday to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers at 8:30 right here on the Fan, 6:30 pregame. Both teams are 2-1. Aaron Rodgers so far this year, 7 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, a 65.1 completion percentage. Isaiah Rodgers was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week last week. That shocks no one. He had 2 defensive touchdowns.
Hell yeah.
He was the 16th Viking in the 54 regular season games so far under KOC to win a Player of the Week award.
Yeah, good for him. Great player. They loved him when they signed him, and he's going to get even better.
Or worse.
Or worse.
Or stayed
I
the
could see
same.
that. Or stayed the same.
One of those 3.
Here's Carson Wentz. He's your quarterback. And he talks about coming to the Vikings knowing that the schedule was going to look like this and thinking it was kind of crazy.
You know, when you see the schedule, and I first obviously was signing here, I was like, that's going to be a weird 2 weeks. But at the same time, it will be fun to I wasn't in training camp. I wasn't in the trenches with those guys day in and day out. So there is this aspect for me that will be fun to get around these guys and get some extended time and not have to worry about, I love my wife and kids, but they're not coming. So at the end of the day, it's like, who are we going out to eat with? Who are we connecting with? And you have a little more free time. And that is the beauty of training camp. It's a grind. And so I wasn't there for camp. So it will be fun to kind of get to know guys on a deeper level and spend more time with them.
Hey, when Parrish talked about when he signed with the Wild, how much pressure he felt because it's his hometown squad, it's friends and family and things like that. And, the only person that knows the pressure anybody feels is the individual themselves.
Sure.
But when Carson Wentz said he grew up a Vikings fan, this is like his boyhood dream to be a Viking. And now you're the quarterback, but not with the same kind of a pressure as if like the Vikings had drafted you in the first round. You're in the twilight of your career. You're on your 6th team in 6 years. Like the pressure's kind of off. Like we already have the kid behind you waiting to be healthy and take the job back. It's kind of cool to just go, all right, this is already my dream. I'm living it. What do I have to lose?
Yeah.
Just go sling it.
Yeah.
Who cares? I assume the pressure's mostly off outside of just standard NFL pressure. But I hope he's loose because he's living his dream. That's pretty
He
cool.
seems to be, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Should be good this weekend in his homeland.
What?
Isn't he Gotta be a little bit Irish, right? Or is it Scottish? I don't know.
What's happening?
Why would you assume that? I'm honest. I'm being honest with you.
The red hair?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know for a second there. I'm like, is he ripping Tommy that somehow like the Dakotas and
correct.
Ireland are like geographically the same?
Yeah.
I didn't understand. Or what-
Geographically.
or what-
Did you guys, when you said that, I was like, is he joking me?
Yeah, I didn't get it.
Yeah. I didn't get it either.
Tommy's bit or Zach's bit.
Yeah.
But whatever,
Yeah.
Zach, I'm going to miss you next week.
Yeah.
You've been clever.
Tommy
leaving
did
it?
ask if we were going to stay in the same hotel for both the London and the Dublin
Yes, he
games.
did.
Yep. Right down the street.
Yeah.
And then what did he say? He doesn't get.
Geography.
Yeah.
Geography. And then he asked if you guys were driving or flying to London.
Yeah, he did ask that too.
He did, yeah. Yep.
Unless you have some kind of a
Right.
hovercraft.
Yep.
Those things look sweet. Or those swamp boats.
Oh, yeah.
Take one of those gator swamp boats across the old pond there to England.
Hawk has slept in a few swamp boats.
You smell swampy.
Oh,
Good name for a team.
Or a duck
Yeah.
boat.
Yeah, take a duck boat. Get
Yeah.
one. Go stop in the Dells.
Yeah.
We'll stop at Toma because you have to. It's a geographical
Well,
oddity.
it's not that far from
Why does a duck need a
Ireland.
boat?
That's a good point.
Injured wing.
Likes to tube.
Where'd that skunk get that weed?
Are you reading movie lines again?
Nah, it's a bit from Dusty
Slay.
Slay.
Cowtown?
He said he'd drive along and as a kid he'd smell a skunk and he'd think, oh man, that stinks. Now he just wonders if his mom was smoking dope in the front seat.
That's so good.
Where'd that skunk get that weed?
He's super funny.
That whole first hour that he
Yeah.
ever released is maybe an hour of the best comedy of all time. When he talks about growing up in a trailer park and what they tell you to do is to go out and lay in a ditch if there's a tornado. It's like, but what about the water in the ditch? I might not die in a tornado, but I'm going to drown. Just go lay down in the
He's
ditch.
brilliant.
He's so good. Yeah, he's funny, man.
He's clean, too, right?
yeah, he is. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I took a bath in the ditch.
Yeah.
Well played.
When he talks about pulling up to the gas, he was high and so I guess he's not clean. Pulls up to the gas station and he's too high to realize that the gas tank's on the other side of the car. So he pulls around and he's still on the wrong side. And then he realizes he just got to drive away because he can't show his face. He's too embarrassed to get gas now. I'm like, I have done that so many times and not high.
Yeah.
Okay.
And of course, no one's paying attention.
Nobody cares.
Just
People are
bad
living their own life and
Nobody
starring their
cares.
own movie. Nobody
Exactly.
even notices you.
Nobody
Not to
noticed.
believe
Or
it.
cares. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Remember that, kids. Remember that, adults, too. Everybody's living their own movie. People don't care as much as you think they do, so don't be too embarrassed. Just go on about your life.
Yeah,
You're
that goes
all right.
back to the Michelob Ultra thing from last
Yeah, man.
segment. If you want to drink one because you like it, go for it.
Good for you.
But if you feel like you have to fit in, who cares?
Yeah.
Fit into
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, man. Drink that Diet Coke.
Yeah, I love Diet
Or
Coke.
water.
I get so much crap. I have gotten
Drink whatever
so
you
much
want.
crap.
Sauce, you and I are very aware when we walk down Las Vegas Boulevard,
Yes.
right? We walk down the strip and we have yard-long frozen margs and
Yes.
we're in our 40s.
Yeah.
We know everyone's going, look at these two douchebags.
Yeah, we don't care.
Yeah, but that's got nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Have we ever
That's how
for
we get off
one
the
second
plane.
been like, we should get a man's drink
No.
and look cool? Who cares?
cares?
Yeah.
That ship sailed so
who cares?
long ago.
But I like
crop
drinking
tops?
high noons. I don't care.
Yeah, who cares? Drink what you
Because they
want.
look good in crop tops and it's hot.
Wait,
It's hot
Corey
out
and
there.
I
It's
wearing crop tops?
Yeah, it was 108 degrees.
Remember? It wasn't
My
a-
T-words were sweating.
Well, for normal people, it wasn't a crop top. For you,
Do you remember, Hawk, the power trip, old school power trips remember this. Do you remember Doug Westerman shamed you
Yeah.
for drinking a strawberry daiquiri with an umbrella?
he did. He went up to
Really?
an extremely hot bartendress in Daytona and ordered me a frozen daiquiri.
Daiquiri, yep.
Yeah. And he asked her to put just a little bit of daiquiri in it and then filled the rest of the glass with whipped cream. And what he didn't realize is he made my day.
Yeah, that sounds
I love
amazing.
whipped
Yeah,
cream.
that sounds great.
I know.
Yeah.
That was a funny bit, though.
Yeah, basically it was like, what are you doing? We're in Daytona for the 500, I
Yeah.
assume.
Yeah.
You can't have a daiquiri, a frozen daiquiri with an umbrella. The F you can.
Yeah, dang right I
Of course
did.
you
Right.
can.
Yeah.
In
Dang
fact, that
right.
sounds incredible.
Yeah, that sounds
Frozen
amazing.
daiquiris are awesome.
Awesome.
are.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that'd be good.
Oh, man,
Right.
that guy's got an umbrella in his drink. Who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
He's not going to eat it.
He's on vacation from his problems.
That's
Who
right.
cares?
Yeah,
Man,
that's right.
Put an umbrella in a Diet Coke. Who cares?
Put an umbrella in your. Put it anywhere you want.
Rick Torn.
Stick it where you know.
Yeah, it might rain. You don't want your butt to get cold.
Yeah, stick it in your Rick
Yeah,
Torn.
put it in there before the bidet, Zachary.
Oh, my.
Oh,
A bidet daiquiri?
no.
Yucky.
I wonder if Inspector Gadget's got an umbrella that comes out of there.
Accidentally.
Yeah, I'm
it was,
sure he
it was
does.
the one mistake they made when they put him back together.
Correct.
We put that where?
Oh.
Go, Gadget. Ah.
Oh.
Would you please stop go-gadgeting your butt umbrella?
Yeah.
Title of the podcast.
Yeah. Butt umbrella.
It's like
Jordan
an IUD
Addison.
in his ass.
Oh. Poor Inspector.
Which, by the way, speaking of butt babies, have you anybody else watching South Park this season?
I haven't seen
Oh man,
a couple episodes.
the baby's about to be born.
Oh.
Potentially.
I haven't seen the one last night.
What a season. So, whatever. They did what they've been doing all season long. But then Beavis and Butthead was on right afterwards. I have wiped away tears every episode of this season of Beavis and Butthead. I've laughed so hard.
Wow.
Last night, the one that got me was they were watching basically backyard wrestling, like these guys fighting on a roof and then throwing each other off. And they couldn't believe that they were watching the coolest thing they've ever seen. And they were so pumped, and everything they said made me laugh harder. And after about 5 jokes, I was wiping away tears. I was laughing so hard.
They're the best.
I freaking love that show. I don't care if I've been laughing at it since I was 13 years old. If I'm 85 years old, I want to be laughing at Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah.
It's that good.
They're hilarious.
So good.
Yeah.
Oh,
They've
we gotta
always
go break.
been funny.
We
But
got .com Tom after this. Thanks to our friends at Bell Bank, so stick around. .com Tom for NFL Network on the line.
Hey, Rubes, this football season, Bell Bank is giving one KFAN listener each week $1,000 to pay it forward to a charity of their choice. Head over to KFAN.com, keyword contest to learn more and enter today. That's KFAN.com, keyword contest.
That's a good place to start because we have not only our main guest on the phone, I have our winner, Jen Grant, nominated Superman Sam Survival Kit at S3kit.org. Superman Sam Survival Kit provides hope to families or caregivers who bring their child home from the hospital with a life-saving breathing tube. S3 Kit does this by giving a complimentary basket filled with items to ease their transition home. What a specific and wonderful thing to give a family. S3kit.org. Superman Sam Survival Kit. Jen Grant, well done. And thank you, Bell Bank, for providing us not only this valuable money to this family and this organization, but also for providing us Tom Pelissero, who I believe is there with us right now. Thanks to, again, our friends at Bell Bank. Tom, are you with us, sir?
You with me?
Hi,
Tom.
There you are. Hi.
Hello.
There you are. Look at you. I don't see your earbuds in your head today. That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. New link here that you guys sent me, and I can't use headphones with it. Don't know why. So
Way to go, Zach. Way to go.
There you are. You look great.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thanks, Doc. You
absolutely.
too.
Yeah, you do. Thank you very, very, very much. Real quick, before we get into Viking stuff, and we again thanks to Bell Bank, I haven't really paid attention. I've seen their season record. How's our guy Sam Darnold fitting in there in Seattle? Are they happy with him?
Yeah, so far so good with Sam Darnold. He's a really good fit for that scheme. Obviously, Clint Kubiak being there, he was in Minnesota, so it's a familiar. There's a lot of ties there in terms of the Kubiak, Shanahan, McVay style of offense. With that Seahawks team too. Week 1 was obviously bumpy for them, but you've seen them play some really good football over these last couple of weeks. They got a big game tonight against the Cardinals, two teams that are both 2-1. Behind the 3-0 49ers in the NFC West, but a 49ers team that, literally everyone seems like they're hurt. They got 3 quarterbacks rotating in practice right now with the first team because they don't know who's even going to be available for them on Sunday. Just lost Nick Bosa. Ricky Pearsall's banged up. Brandon Ayuk's not ready to come back yet. There's a lot of challenges that San Francisco has. So far, they've been able to persevere, but at some point, those things tend to add up.
All right, so let's go to our game for a second. The big conversation this week post Carson Wentz's debut has been, what is the plan going to be when J.J. McCarthy is 100% healthy? What do you think that plan is between Wentz and McCarthy moving forward?
Well, listen, there's 100% healthy, then there's 100% ready. And there's a distinction between those things when it comes to putting J.J. McCarthy on the field. I hate to keep going back to it. We talked about it so many times, but he lost an entire year of reps. He lost one full year of the physical reps on the field because of the meniscus surgery he had after the first preseason game last year. Then you come into this offseason. Didn't have Justin Jefferson out there, so he wasn't throwing with him because he had a hamstring issue through most of training camp. Jordan Addison, who that connection between him and JJ was really good in camp. This is the first week Addison's back because he was suspended for the first 3 games. And then, week 2, it's a short week. JJ probably misses out on some sleep. He's literally watching tape in the delivery room trying to catch up. He misses a day of work and then came out and, the entire Vikings offense struggled in that game. And certainly JJ did. Against the Falcons prior to the injury. All which is to say that's not making any excuses for J.J. McCarthy, but he is absolutely still the guy. They want to make sure that when he gets back onto the field that he is fully prepared and ready because, we'll see what he's able to do, with him making the trip, which was not a given to Dublin. The idea is at some point here, whether it's this week or whether it's next week in London, just get him in, taking some of the scout team reps even, just kind of get him reintegrated into it. What you don't want to do is have a guy, again, who's missed that much time, then he's shut down for a month, and then you come back from the bye and you go, okay, 3 practices, then go out there against the Super Bowl champs. That would be asking a lot of any quarterback. So they want to be really deliberate about this. What I would tell you, Corey, is if you see JJ getting some type of limited work over these next couple of weeks, that'll bode well for the odds that he's out there in week 7 against the Eagles. For now, I don't believe that there is, to the extent of people saying there's, any type of quarterback controversy or will they just ride out Carson Wentz? You never say never on anything in this league, but I don't get that sense. Carson Wentz did a good job last week. He got a ton of help, obviously, from the defense. And now another challenge this week against the Steelers team that's coming off a win. It's going to be raring to go over there in Ireland.
Tom, even if it's a small sample size, can Carson Wentz be the next Sam Darnold?
I think it's hard, Sauce, just because Carson Wentz is older. He's been around. He was, I believe, in the 2016 draft. So this would be year 10 for him in the NFL. We saw Carson Wentz, his second year in the league, 2017. He was an MVP candidate until, he might have been the NFL MVP that season until, he blows out his knee on that weird play at the goal line against the Rams at the LA Coliseum. And his career just was never quite the same. Now, he's been with some of those top coaches, right? He's been with McVay. He's been with Andy. And now he's with Kevin O'Connell. Those are the types of guys that can kind of, give you a reclamation to your career. The thing is with Darnold, and granted, he's been in the league for quite some time too. I think he's in year 8 now. But Sam still is, he's on the younger side. He came in at 20 years old. Carson's in, his mid 30s at this point. Could he get an opportunity to go and be, competing, be in kind of like a Russell Wilson placeholder situation somewhere next year? Sure, if he plays well enough. But I'd also caution people, the one thing we've seen with Carson, who, I've covered throughout his entire career. I remember meeting him at the Senior Bowl when he was coming out of North Dakota State and, having a fun conversation with him there. He's a very low-key type of a guy. The thing with him is just at times the play gets away from him and he's, makes ill-advised decisions, whether it's throwing the ball left-handed out of his own end zone or, taking chances with the ball, taking chances with his legs. Let's see how well he's able to sustain it, because when you're talking about a backup quarterback in the NFL, most teams would tell you, you're just hoping your backup quarterback can get you through 4 games, can, win a couple of them, keep you on track, and you get the starter back. With Wentz, he's 1 game in. He's 1 for 1. These next 2, there's no reason these shouldn't be wins for the Vikings, but this is, certainly going to be a challenge this week against the Steelers team that seems to be, even getting a little bit healthier than they were a week ago.
Hey, Tom, we've heard how much is going into the Vikings doing this double Europe game bit. Do we think that this is kind of going to be the thing going forward where we will see more teams doing 2 or 3 games in Europe?
I do, and I think that it's a logical way to do it. If you're eventually going to expand, and if we get to an 18-game schedule, which is not a given, but certainly seems like something that'll happen sometime in the next several years here. To me, and I've presented this plan before, I've run it up the food chain. There are certainly some complications to this, but in my mind, the way that this would make the most sense is if you get to 18 games, every team plays 2 neutral site international games a year. You essentially could establish 8 pods of 4 teams each. In other words, let's say that in a given year, the NFC North is playing the AFC North for sake of simplicity. So you would send 2 NFC North teams and 2 AFC North teams to, let's say, Ireland, and you would play the cross-conference game. So the NFC North teams would each play the 2 AFC North teams. The following week, you would flip-flop those matchups. You would eventually establish that you would have these 2-week types of jaunts. If the NFL then could come up with 4 host cities, it could end up being 8, but let's say short-term it's 4, then basically you set up operations in those places and you have an entire streak of games, whether that's in Germany, whether that's in Ireland / the UK, whether that potentially is in South America or Australia. You would ease the burden of travel of teams having to go over and then come back, and then how you stagger the buys. Do you take it? Do you not? You would have more time to adjust. You'd be able to grow the brand substantially because you'd have those teams in the international markets for longer. And so on Monday and Tuesday, which historically are players' community days anyway, you could get them out in the community in some of these international types of places. The challenges to doing this on a broad scale like I'm talking about is a lot of the infrastructure. You would essentially have to build out international offices for the NFL. You would have to change the way perhaps that like sports science and athletic training services are provided in those places, because you're not just, all right, we're playing the game and then we're going back and a guy's got a high ankle sprain. What are the modalities we're doing for it? You'd want to have all the resources you had at home internationally. And so, there's obviously other things that the union would care about, tax implications and other things. But the point being, yes, I do believe that when we go to 18 games, it would make sense to balance out the schedule. The best way you do that is not having every team play 1 international game. You have them play 2. You go for longer stretches. Do we get there in the next 10 years? I don't know, but this is definitely the test case for the NFL trying this. And we'll see, does a Vikings team, remember, both these were supposed to be road games. Do they have an advantage even beyond this week? Do they have a substantial advantage next week because they will be adjusted to the time zones, to being over there? Will they have an advantage over a Browns team that's just parachuting in for 1 game? These are all unknowns, and we'll find out over the next couple of weeks. It'll be fun.
Tom Pelissero, thanks to Bell Bank. Let's stay on the Europe line of questioning for a second. When it comes to Ireland specifically, obviously we already have football established in London. There's a big fan base for the Vikings, for example. When the NFL throws a new dart at a new country, I assume moving forward for the foreseeable future, they're not looking for one-offs, right? They're looking to build Germany, South America, now Australia maybe in the future with, I think, the Chargers. So Rams, thank you. So when they go all in on Ireland, this isn't like, hey, cute, let's try Ireland. They want this to be a regular spot.
Ideally, you'd want to do that. But the NFL is always, they do things incrementally. They're never going to go like, hey, let's play 8 games in Brazil next year. It's always going to be, all right, let's test it out. Let's figure out what went right, what went wrong. Let's give them another game. Okay, now maybe you look at building that out. What are the additional things that we can do? There's markets like Mexico City that historically, have been really welcoming to the NFL. But then, Estadio Azteca was under construction for a while. There's some other logistical things that go into play in there. I mean, you remember one of the wildest games we've seen in the last decade was that Chiefs-Rams shootout. I want to say it was like 51-45. Yeah. It was an awesome game. It was in Mexico City. Those are, great international things. In Mexico City is certainly in Mexico broadly is a big NFL market because of the proximity to various teams. There's a big Cowboys fan base there. There's certainly a Cardinals fan base there. You'd like to go back into those markets, but there are challenges that come with that. There's obviously the leases on the stadium, the condition of the stadium, the deals with local authorities. There's a lot of different things, but certainly, again, if you're going to play 1 game, why wouldn't you build out the infrastructure to play 2, 3, 4 games? London has been that place where they now have several games there a year. I would anticipate that Germany, another place that because of NFL Europe 30 years ago, they developed this entire generation of fans that grew up watching, playing, rooting for American football. That's another logical place you would like to play several games, ideally. And that's all part of the NFL's global marketing strategy. You go back to the 80s and they played games in Japan. They played games in a bunch of different places that are not currently NFL markets. This is very strategic what they've been doing over the past decade here. It's kind of like what the NBA wanted to do in terms of taking their brand and their players global. The NFL is taking cues from that in terms of making it more about the individual personalities, which has always been a criticism of the NFL, which is we sell teams, we sell laundry, we don't sell the players. Well, guess what? Another great way to build out that international game, the international audience, 2028 in the Olympics, there is a reason that the NFL and the Players Union, there's still some things they're working out, but there's a reason that basically everybody's on board. Yes, you got injury risk. And if somebody goes over there and tears their Achilles, there will be a huge furor about it. Not over there, it's in Los Angeles, but there'll be a huge furor about it. Yeah. But you do it because if you can put the best of the game and you've got Team USA with Justin Jefferson catching passes from Patrick Mahomes against the Angola team, to use the 1992 Dream Team comparison, it might be just blowout games, but it's a great way to introduce people abroad to the sport. These next 3 years are critical for the NFL, and they're going to continue to play these games here.
And by definition, even the greatest star the NFL has is replaceable. I mean, that's the way the NFL has always done it. So, again, Dicom Tom Pelissero is our guest and our friend, and thanks to our friends at Bell Bank. Back to the game at hand, not just where it's at, the actual team we're facing. Listening a little bit yesterday to Paul Allen show, you had the play-by-play guy on from Pittsburgh talking about Aaron Rodgers and how he's played for them. It's been a bit up and down, right? How is this offense we're about to face?
In week one against the Jets, that was the Aaron Rodgers that they're hoping that they get. It's a guy who, is able to extend plays with his legs, accurate with the football, making good decisions, protecting the ball. That's kind of been the hallmark of Aaron throughout his career. These last couple of weeks, particularly week two, you've seen, that he's 41 years old and he looks it at times. Everybody always says the first thing that goes with guys is their legs. And certainly, if you talk to people who were with the Jets over the last couple of years, he had the significant, the Achilles tear in 2023 that cost him the season. There are times that he looks his age and he's not able always to extend plays, nor should they want him to extend plays and get outside the pocket all the time, because that's how you get hit. That's how you get hurt. The good news so far is Aaron Rodgers is healthy. He's through the first 3 weeks of the season. He's not taking the bumps and bruises. These past several years, even going back to 2022 in Green Bay, the hits and the injuries just kind of began to add up on him. If I'm the Vikings, what I want to see Aaron not being able to play on time. I don't want him to be able to get the football out fast, because because his brain is still operating at a really high level, he can see it and rip it and get the ball out. So, Brian Flores is a lot smarter than me in terms of designing the NFL defense. He's as good as anybody in the NFL. But if I were guessing, I would say that you're going to play this thing pretty aggressively in terms of coverage to cloud the picture for Aaron Rodgers, to not let him get the football out. If he has to move around, that's where you turn loose, the Jonathan Grenards of the world. Hopefully Javon Hargrave, it sounds like, should be able to play. He had a chest contusion last week. He should be able to go in this game. You're hoping that you can kind of, create some havoc in terms of making Aaron hold on to the football. It's also going to be critical to stop the run in a week like this, just because, if they're able to run the football effectively, that's going to challenge you in terms of what you're able to do from a blitz standpoint, from a coverage standpoint. I don't know that, the Flo always, he enjoys sending the house. I don't know if you're going to see a ton of that against Aaron Rodgers. I do think they'll be aggressive in terms of coverage, trying to create challenges for him, not able to get the football out of his hands. And then we'll see how effective Rodgers can be if he's under some duress.
One of the best players on defense is TJ Watt, and he plays for Pittsburgh. Tom, how much do you think Christian Darrisaw will play? Because he was kind of on like a spot duty last week. And how long do you expect Donovan Jackson will be out?
Sounds like Donovan Jackson should be back after the bye. He had wrist surgery. It's something that, he was able to play through last week, but you want to, over the long haul, get that thing taken care of. So with the bye, he's effectively got almost a month to get himself right. Doesn't sound like he should be out much beyond that week 6 bye. In terms of Darrisaw, this is all part of the plan. We talked about it on the show last week. He could have played at the start of the season, but they want to be really, really careful. Outside of, Justin Jefferson, there may not be a more important person on the 2025 Vikings than Christian Darrisaw. So I would anticipate, if there's no setbacks, if there's no issues on a long transcontinental flight today, that they'll continue to ramp him up and he'll play more. TJ Watt's interesting because he got paid in the offseason, became the highest paid edge rusher in the NFL until Micah Parsons blew it away on that extension as part of the trade to Green Bay. But TJ Watt, if you look at the numbers, he didn't play well down the stretch of last season. He didn't have a tackle, I believe, in like the last 3 games last year. It had been a long streak. I don't have in front of me what his stats were last week, but I know it had been a while since he had a sack. He did have a fumble recovery in that game. But this is not, TJ Watt necessarily at his absolute peak here. So we'll see on this type of stage, on that field surface, what's his get off look like in that game. I'll be interested to see because he's still by far the best player they've got in that defensive front. Alex Highsmith, their other edge rusher, not expected to play again this week, still dealing with a high ankle sprain. Derek Harmon, who was their first round pick, just got back, made his debut last week. We'll see how much he plays in this game, but that defense very much goes as TJ Watt goes. And there have been times dating back to the end of last season where TJ Watt has not been, effort's not an issue, but he's not been going in terms of production quite the way we've seen him in the past.
From a look around the NFL, Tom, do you expect that Kirk Cousins would play again for the Falcons because of a benching of Michael Penix going forward?
Raheem Morris is forcefully saying they're sticking with Michael Penix. He is the guy, acknowledges he had a very bad day last week. But if you saw the post-game press conference, when he was asked, could Kirk Cousins get a chance to start? And Raheem just said, no. No further explanation. One word. No. That probably shows you where the Falcons stand right now on Kirk Cousins. It also shows you, they don't want to. It would be the equivalent of asking Kevin O'Connell after the Week 2 game, before we knew about the injury, hey, would you bench JJ for Carson Wentz? And the answer is probably, he would give a more effusive answer, probably a longer answer, but it would be effectively the same thing, which is JJ's our guy. It's a young quarterback in Penix who just hasn't started that many games. He's still under 10 starts. I want to say it's like 6 or 7 starts that he's had in his career. They know that there's going to be some bumps, but he was bad last week. I mean, there's no doubt about it. He wasn't great against the Vikings. It's just the Vikings offense was so bad in that Sunday night game. Penix didn't have, a great outing. They've struggled to get the football to their playmakers. Drake London, who I'm sure there's plenty of people listening who took him in the first or second round of their fantasy draft and are going, well, where are all those balls he was supposed to be getting thrown his way? Obviously, Darnell Mooney was dinged up in camp, but he had more targets than Drake London last week. Can you get Kyle Pitts going? They got Bijan Robinson. They've got players on that team. The quarterback play has not been good enough. The decision-making, the accuracy, it's not been good enough. Penix is never going to be a guy who's going to win a ton with his legs. We've seen him make plays at times, but he's a classic pocket passer. They're going to exhaust every opportunity to keep Penix on the field. I'm not going to sit here and say that, the fact that Kirk Cousins, if he were to suffer an injury, could end up with even more guaranteed money than he has now. I don't think that that's a factor. I think this is more so they really, really wanted to work with Michael Penix, because think about it this way. They approached everything last year from a highly unorthodox perspective, paying $100 million guaranteed to Kirk Cousins, and then 6 weeks later, drafting a successor at number 8 overall. Nobody has ever done that. Then you bench the $100 million quarterback for that number 8 pick. You keep Kirk Cousins, let the additional $10 million fully vest instead of just trading him or cutting him. Nobody has ever done any of this the way that the Falcons are doing. They want to show ownership that they did this thing the right way. A big part of that is having it work with Michael Penix Jr. We saw Kirk get on the field last week toward the end of the game, essentially just handing the football off. It's very apparent they don't want to go back to Kirk Cousins, but 1 or 2 more games like Penix had last week, and they may not have a choice, because the last thing you want to do right now, especially with the way the Bucs are playing in your division, is fall into a deep hole that it's going to be too late to save it by the time you get to midseason.
The man's a machine. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, dude.
You got it, guys.
Bye-bye.
Tom Pelissero. Thanks to Bellbank.
Yep,
He's the best.
Man,
he's the best in
guy
soccer.
knows his stuff, dude.
Yeah, man.
He does. He cool.
And it's like the opposite of us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you
Big
guys
deal,
know
man.
your
Yeah,
stuff.
he's really good.
He's a big deal.
He's really, really good.
Isn't it something to think that he's a big deal and we're still here?
We're still stuck here.
Can I ask you a question I should have asked him, but maybe you guys know the answer?
Yeah, I got it.
Well, why can't we know?
please, no,
You
ask
probably
Zach.
will know.
Ask Zach.
Why can't
Does
the three
he
of
now
us know?
work
Please
for
ask Zach.
Disney?
No, not for at least another year. They got to go through a regulatory process and get approval from
Yeah,
the
they gotta give
government,
approval.
antitrust, and all
Approval?
that.
Why do you want him
So-
to?
No, I was just wondering because
Sounds like you
they
want him to.
merged.
I mean, they're trying to merge. So, and there's
Yeah.
also, I mean,
It's like 394 to 94.
well,
Yeah, like
not all
Common
the
Man
time.
screaming at people.
Okay.
But that's why, that's part of the worry with this whole Jimmy Kimmel thing. That's part of the reason why they were thinking maybe that ABC was being nice to the administration. So
Yeah.
fun stuff. Speaking of South Park.
Got it. Sorry I asked.
Now it's time for headlines.
Brought to you by my friends at Wolf River Electric and wolfriverelectric.com. Go solar, get solar panels put on. Reach out to the awesome people at wolfriverelectric.com. Go get those panels.
Hell
man.
yeah, man.
Get a whole bunch of
You're
them.
making a lot of money this week.
Just hand over fist. What does that even mean?
I think Tommy would know.
Hand over what?
Fist.
Next summer, John Mulaney's going to be the first comedian to headline Wrigley Field.
Wow. That's a
Wrigley
lot of
Field.
pressure.
Outdoor comedy's tricky. Well, first of all, doing a crowd that big is tricky.
Yeah,
I mean, there's only a handful of comedians that can pull it off. He's big enough to do that, but outdoors, woof.
Well,
Good luck, man.
I think the difference, because you saw it in it was just kind of a flat land area, right? I think the fact that it's a bowl will keep that sound in and it'll be a good night. I heard a lot of good reviews from was it Bill Burr at Fenway Park?
That's so
It worked
cool.
out really well.
He's so
So.
chill.
I hope you're correct. The housing market has not been kind still to young adults, so now they are, quote, co-buying properties with friends. That's like the last handful of years. That's the trend is got to get equity, but then you co-buy it with somebody.
That's friends with benefits right there.
No. The housing market.
Oh.
Zach, why don't you buy a house like in, I don't know, like Waco, Texas, and just round up your friends
Yeah.
and buy
Yeah,
a property.
And move the hell out of here.
You know,
Yeah,
Get moving, you know?
I do need to branch out more, don't I?
just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a small
Yeah,
branch.
maybe you're speaking of branch, go to Waco.
Yeah.
A man tried to swallow sandwich baggies of cocaine after he was caught shoplifting $150 worth of stuff from Target.
Been there.
What a strange sentence. So he gets caught shoplifting and then decides to swallow baggies of cocaine because I assume, obviously, the cops are on their way.
Yeah.
So he's like, well, if they're going to show up, I better quickly swallow these bags of Coke that I have on me.
You don't want multiple charges.
No,
Yeah.
I hope it was Diet Coke. He's watching his weight.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No, I think it was just pure Colombian.
Man, again, I can't tell you how many times I accidentally stole from Target when Harper was a newborn. Right, because when you're loading up the cart, you got diapers, you forget that there's stuff under the cart until you get back to the car.
Yeah.
And then you're dealing with a 3-month-old or a 6-month-old, and you're like, am I going to walk this all the way back? And at that point, 12 packs of pop was like, I don't know, $3.
No, it's 100.
Right now it's $1 billion. But back in the day, it was like $3. I'm like, am I going to walk all the way back there to tell them I accidentally
7
stole
flights of
$3?
stores.
I ain't doing that.
That
Just
happened
drive
to me.
away.
Yeah, that happened to me the other day.
Oh, great.
I was buying things and then
Accidental theft?
No, I saw it at the last minute, but I was buying
Hookers.
cheese
Condoms.
and a couple other things. And the cheese had gotten on this side of the basket
Oh, no.
and I didn't see it because it was upright, like as opposed to like laying flat. It had got this way.
Right.
This
and
is
then
fascinating.
as I
Right.
left,
Yes.
I grabbed it and then I was like, oh, I got to go back and pay for it. And I paid for it.
Dude, but what happened, man?
So that's the whole bit?
Did anybody live?
Yeah, then I went home and had a couple of cheese sandwiches.
That sounds right.
Now, when you had the cheese sandwiches at home, were they
Yeah.
upright or were they like laying down flat?
No,
like, this way.
Yeah,
Were you listening to
this
music?
way.
this way. Yeah.
Was there a soundtrack to this
Yeah.
movie?
I was probably listening to Hold the Line by Toto.
Not Hold the Line by Grandson and Tom Morello.
No.
Did you
So-
give it 2 pinkies up your...
Oh.
So you mentioned cheese and a couple of other things, but you
Yeah.
said it with a little tone that made it sound
Yeah.
like it was nefarious. What were the other things that you were buying in addition to cheese?
Yeah. Come on,
Buns?
wild thing.
Well, excuse me?
Buns.
Oh, I thought you said buds. I thought
No.
Target was in the weed business now.
Where
No,
does
but I
it
think
get
there's
that
a
weed?
couple places that
So-
have it where you can buy it legally.
So buns, cheese,
And ice cream.
Bun cheese.
Bun cheese.
are all three of those together?
No. The buns were for the hamburgers I was making later.
But you already had hamburger at home.
Yeah, I had hamburger at home, but I didn't
Look
have
at you.
buns.
Where were they laying in the cart?
Flat.
Flat like that.
I think they knocked the
Did
cheese.
they get smashed?
Pushed it up. No. I'm
Good.
good at, I'm the one, there's like few things I'm good at. I'm very good at bagging groceries.
That's great, because that's what you're going to end up doing for your second career.
I mean, I wish you would have really chased your passions.
No,
then.
but like,
It's not just passion, what he's good at.
But there are people that are bad at it. It's an art to do that.
I wonder, it's hard to evaluate yourself.
Yeah.
I would love to see you bag groceries. I bet if Zach and Hawk and I watched you do that, we would give you such more, like, I don't know.
Respect?
No, the other way.
Thank you, Hawk.
I bet your average score would be a C.
No, kiss it. No, it wouldn't. It would be better than that.
Why do you think it's an A?
Because I'm
Corey,
good at it.
Don't offend him. He takes this S seriously. And I almost said the S word. That's how seriously he takes
I
it.
take it serious.
He does.
Yeah.
So, again, I've mentioned this is a weird thing to brag about, but I'm an elite walker.
Kisser.
And you've seen it. And you agree. I'm an elite walker. I walk with purpose and I pay attention.
Yeah.
I don't like
You're
walking,
claiming your weird skill to be happy about or brag about is you are an elite grocery bag filler.
That's
accurate?
him.
Yes.
So you think if all of us got together,
Yeah.
you would be the best grocery bag stuffer of all of us?
Probably, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Hello?
Probably.
Who is it?
It's Jerry.
From Jerry's Foods in Edina?
He wants to hire you on the
So
spot.
here's the thing about that.
Wow.
These places now,
Your chip has finally come in, bro.
these places now that charge per bag, that's an Edina thing where they charge per
I was going to
bag.
say, I don't know what
What?
you're talking about.
Yeah, they
do
charge
per
Minneapolis. They
bag.
do-
Minneapolis and
Charge for what?
5 cents per bag.
Oh,
If
it's like
you use-
California. If
Yeah,
you use
California.
for plastic bags?
Yes, sir. Any
Okay.
bag. They
Oh,
charge
any bag.
Any bag they charge you for.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So there are some of these places
Oh,
where
it must be rough living in Edina.
Oh,
it
son
is.
of a
Every
bitch.
road's torn up. It's tough.
Oh, tough.
It's real tough.
Tough
yeah.
break for
It's
you.
tough,
It is
guys.
tough, yeah. Living in Edina
And you have to bag your own groceries?
Living in Edina
What
has been
decade is this?
maybe the second worst thing that's ever happened to
My
me in my
God,
life.
the crime rate must be through the roof.
No, that's actually pretty good.
Well, it's because they use those, 5 cents a bag?
Plus, nobody's got bags to steal stuff in.
Anyway, so when places like that stuff adds up, right?
You can't
It adds
carry
up.
all that money in your
Steal
hands.
the
Yeah.
bag.
But hold on, though. Some of the people that bag things at like the Target in Edina.
Hold on one second, would you?
Hawk, the Lunds and all that. They put like 3 things per bag. That adds up over a while.
Oh,
They get
wow.
Yeah, they get
They
you.
get you that way, don't they?
But that adds, if you do that to 100 customers and it's 4 extra bags per people,
That's 20 cents per
That's how they
person.
get you, man.
So 100 customers would be how much money?
that's like $2. No, it's more than that. $200.
20?
$20.
He doesn't
$20.
know. He doesn't know.
It doesn't matter. I'm not here to do
It
math.
doesn't matter because he's still the best bagger
Yeah,
there is.
correct. I'm just saying that adds up. $20 a day, 7 days a week. That's $14 a week. That's a lot of money.
You're like Bagger Vance.
It's so hard to listen to you do math.
It's so hard to listen to you.
He's right.
You're not going to have to when you're bagging groceries at Jerry's.
Yeah, man. They
At
always
least they'd
have
be
their
nice.
eyes in there.
He heard you say it. They know talent.
At least
they can
they'd be
identify
nicer
talent.
to me there.
I don't know if they would be.
Yeah.
No, the customers, I'm saying. I'm sure Jerry's would
No,
treat
there's
you
a
fine.
lot of rude
You know what, dude?
customers.
I'd give you a dime per bag. That's how good you are at
There's
it.
a lot of people that go to that Edina Jerry's that park right in front of it and just park there and wait.
I hate that.
Yep, it happens all the
Get
time.
your A
in
out of your
Edina.
car and
they're
walk.
just waiting right in the middle, waiting for people to go in.
Walk
it's the
from
worst.
Dublin to London, just
Yeah.
like Chris is going to do because Tommy thinks
Love
it's
you.
possible. Have the best time the next 12 days.
Thanks.
It's going
I'll
to be
talk to
super
you guys
fun.
with Adam Thielen tomorrow morning.
That is correct. And tomorrow morning, don't forget, Wild GM Bill Guerin makes his power trip and initials debut. That's going to be awesome. He's going to be here around 7:45.
That'll be
He'll play
great.
the game a little after 8:15. And tomorrow we finally made it. $100,000 up for grabs with the St. Paul Federal Credit Union
Excellent.
initials jackpot. We made it to 6 figures.
Hell yeah,
Now
man.
let's have somebody hit it.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
in front of Billy G.
Think of all the grocery bags they could pay for.
Think about that.
5 cents a bag. That would be how many bags, Sauce?
Don't even start.
My
What?
mic turned off.
Oh, his mic's off. He can't.
Oh, no. He'd be doing
What?
math like crazy.
He's mouthing, "I'm not here to do math."
If I don't make it back, I loved you guys.
All right.
Bye.
Have a wonderful day.
You too, Abba Dabba. Look how beautiful it is out there. Go attack this day. Make it your own. I love you.